kind of this mental torment that I was doing with myself, trying to figure out what was it that I did wrong, and I'm an overthinker. So I would be like replaying scenarios. Okay, what did I do? What did he say? What should I have said? And it just wasn't working out in my favor. And I got into like this really low place after that marriage where, I was depressed and, at the same time, I'm finding, relationship with God. I'm gonna say relationship, not religion. I'm developing this relationship with God. And to be honest, that's the only thing that pulled me through, because it was kind of days where it was like, okay, I don't even want to get up and go to work because, what am I doing it for? This marriage didn't work. It was kind of like this marriage failed, everything else. I lost hope for everything else. And then just when, I was kind of thinking that, okay, the first time I did it for me, this next time, let me take me out of the picture and I'm going to do it for God. So it's kind of like, well, he's got this stuff on paper, but physically I'm not attracted to him. And then I was listening to, church people and these different things and, people getting inside your head. And somebody, I can't remember who, somebody had said, God isn't concerned about your happiness. He's concerned about your obedience. So, so I'm thinking, well, I don't have to be attracted to him. I just have to be obedient to God if this is who is supposed to be my husband. And when I tell you that thing was, ooh, child, I don't even know. It was like I did it and, there was this fight because part of me was like, you shouldn't be doing this because that you don't feel it. Your heart isn't in that. Like literally the night before we got married, we were arguing. And because I didn't want to go, I was ready to back out. And we literally stayed up all night long, arguing on the phone. And we didn't have like a big wedding. We just went to the courthouse and I didn't want to go. And we argued literally up until it was time. Like we just barely had enough time to make it to the courthouse.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And it was kind of like, I know now hindsight is always 20/20, but my gut was telling me like, girl, don't do it, run. And I just kind of like you have that devil on one shoulder and the angel on the other shoulders. Like my gut was saying, don't do it, run. And then I can't say this angel, but I had this other voice saying, well, God's not worried about your happiness. He's worried about your obedience. Yeah. So I went and it wasn't 30 days later that I wanted out.
Yeah. That sounds like my third marriage. I don't think I could roll with the God don't want your happiness. He wants your obedience when it comes to marriage. I think that is, to me personally, I think that is a grave mistake. Yeah. I want to venture to say an emotionally deadly mistake. Right. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't roll with that philosophy. I just couldn't.
I know that now, but then, I'm a babe in Christ. I don't know nothing. So, okay, and all word, isn't foundational word. And my discernment was off. I'm getting messages all over the place. And at that point, I didn't know who to listen to, who not to listen to. So, I did it and I paid the price. I suffered the consequences, but I won't do it again.
I tell you, what you just said sounds like all these conversations in these YouTube streets.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody got a hint or a lesson in marriage and this, that, and the other, and you hear it all over the place. You sitting there like, well, which one should I listen to? But at this age, you sitting there like, yeah, you know, shut the hell up.
Exactly. I mean, and now, I know that, then, I'm just learning, this God thing, the way that, I'm learning it at that point. And now, years later, it's like, okay, well, they can't tell me that now. So when I'm hearing these YouTube conversations, it's kind of like, well, that may work for you. And if it does, then okay, that's fine. Okay, do your thing. But for me, as far as my direction goes, now I know how to tap in and listen, to God, who is, who I believe in, and get a word from myself. You can talk to me all day long, but if God hasn't confirmed what you're saying to me, then it's in one ear and out the other. Yeah. I mean, people will send you off because,
man,
I'm like, they done sent me off. Now here I am 2 kids later, with this crazy fool who still won't leave me alone. Literally to this day, I'm still dealing with the after effects of that. But it is what it is. So
ain't nobody tell you to be all cute.
Listen, I
saw your throwback picture, so ain't nobody tell you to be all cute.
Listen, I can hold my own, on a good day. I know how to, put a little shink that ain't together, but
I know that's right.
Listen, I ain't nothing I'm doing that cold for somebody still to be harassing me years after the fact. Like, buddy, go and find you somebody that's for you, because it's not me.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I don't know. So let me switch gears on you real quick.
Yes.
So tell me what you're passionate about.
What am I passionate about? I am passionate about children, issues affecting children. I'm passionate about community issues, things that Black and brown folk struggle with. Racism is something that I feel very strongly about or passionate about, or I guess equal rights. Some days equal rights about women. For women. I'm not going to say I'm a feminist. I'm not a feminist. But there are certain women's issues that I take a stand on. I believe that, healthcare, women's health, reproductive, and otherwise is between her and her doctor, not necessarily the government. So things like that, I'll stand up for women with regard to. What else am I passionate about? Being respectful, everybody deserves respect. Doesn't matter what their title, what their socioeconomic status is.
All right.
You give the president the same respect as you give the janitor of a company.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so that's my short list.
Okay, so I want to pick a few things out of your short list. You talk about community is one of your passion things.
Yes.
I struggle with that, being passionate about the community, because every time I look around, Black and brown people in our community seem to do a lot of dumb stuff, and they blame it on a lot of dumb things. Do you ever get frustrated looking at your community, especially where you are? Do you ever get frustrated because growing up, not growing up, but as an adult, I always hear, oh, they ain't doing nothing for us this, they ain't doing nothing for us that. And it's like, it's your community. Why aren't you doing for yourself? So do you ever get frustrated, and how do you look at that aspect?
I get frustrated all the time. I mean, literally all the time. Because we are, in some cases, not all, in some cases, we are just as much to blame as other people, but then I'm also sympathetic to some degree, because sometimes, the stupidity is because they're ignorant of their alternatives. If all you see is doom, gloom, poverty, and struggle, then how do you know anything different. You know, they're just kind